had to forgive myself, but I also had to forgive other people. That's loving yourself, because you are holding on to this hate, if you have hate, resentment, memories, and just all these what ifs. And that's not good for you. All that energy that you encountered with soul ties, if you had some snake and links or whatever, you want to let go of all of that. It's like you're starting new, you're starting a new chapter, you're starting fresh. You feel it in your energy. You feel all these things inside of you, and that's why you're not clear of what you want to do, what you want to achieve. You're thinking about all these things. You're constantly living in the past, worrying about the future, thinking about this person, that person. They did this to you, they did that to you. Fuck all that. Like, literally, you just have to let it go. And this was a very, very hard one for me to forgive others and to forgive myself, but forgiving others was so hard. It's not easy. It might be hard for you, it might be easy for you, but for me personally, it was extremely hard, because I blamed others for what happened to me. I blamed them for the life I was living. I didn't want to blame myself. I wasn't taking accountability, but I realized, okay, well, I'm not saying what they did was right. It's not acceptable at all. But I had to take accountability as well, because I had part in that. I kept allowing them to do me wrong. I kept ignoring the red flags. I let shit slide. I wanted to see the good in them instead of just seeing them for who they were. They were a negative person, a toxic person. I was like, no, deep down, this and that, when it's like, no, fuck that. I allowed myself to go through that. So I had to take accountability, and I did. I had to forgive myself, because then I thought, well, how did I allow myself to go through that? Why did I do that? This and that. Fuck all the whys. You have to forgive yourself, and you have to forgive them. Start by forgiving yourself where it's okay. You were a whole different person back then. You had a whole different mindset, and your mindset is completely different now. And look at the positive side. You have grown now. Your mindset has grown. Don't pay attention to how you were back then. What is important is that you're a new person now. You have evolved. You think differently now for the better. And forgiving yourself is another step towards self-love. It's self-care. You're making peace with yourself. That's being at peace with you. You're forgiving yourself. When you are forgiving others, do not think that you're doing it for them. If you forgive others, that does not mean you are going back to them. If you were in a relationship, that doesn't mean you're going back to your ex-partner. That doesn't mean that you're going to be friends with this certain individual again. No. If you forgive them, that doesn't mean you have to go back. You forgive them and you let go. You're not doing it for them. You're forgiving them for you. You're forgiving them so you can move on. You're forgiving them to let go. Forgiving took a while for me, and it might take a while for you. It's not a one-day thing. For me, it took a couple months, honestly, because I held onto it so tight. It was hard for me to let go. It was really hard for me to let go. So I tried different exercises. I had to repeatedly sit with myself, talk to myself, envision me in front of them, talking to them, telling them that I forgave them. I wrote down a letter. I said it out loud. I tried so many things. So I suggest you try different things. And I had to repeatedly do it. I was literally doing it like every day until I didn't feel anything, because I would think of them, this feeling would come up. So I would pay attention to that. I'd be like, okay, when I think of them, I think about this and I think about that. I would mainly think about what they did to me, the negative thing, and I would see what I would feel in my body. I'd be like, okay, I feel like this, like that. I let these feelings go. They don't serve any purpose in my life, any purpose in my body, and I let go of this energy. I had to do that multiple times. One of the things I did that helped me a lot to forgive people was imagining them on a stage and remembering some good times that we had, times where we laughed, just where we were having a good time, telling them I love them, that I thank them for the experience, and I let them go. And then I disappeared them from the stage slowly. And that helped a lot. I had to do that several times. I just wished them the best in life, and I let them go. I understand why a lot of you guys might not want to forgive people, because you want them to say, I'm sorry. And that's what I was expecting. I was expecting for them to come to me and tell me that they were sorry. That way I could forget them, maybe or maybe not, or just like talk it out. You want that, but that is not the case. It's rare when that happens. It will most likely never happen. So you have to do it even if you're not in front of that person physically. Just imagine them, and you have to forgive them, and you have to let them go. You have to let go of all attachments, because when you don't, that's just hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself even more. A lot of people don't like to admit that they did something wrong. They don't take accountability. But it's time for you to change. It's time for you to let go and to move on into the next chapter of your life. I know I thought that forgiving other people would make me weak. I don't know, I just thought like that, but it doesn't. It didn't make me weak. It made me fucking stronger. It made me stronger. It made me wiser. It made me love myself even more, because it takes a lot to forgive somebody. A lot of strength, a lot of vulnerability, and it makes you feel amazing after. And you just let them go. It's such a beautiful feeling and such a fucking relief. You literally feel that weight off of you, that energy that wasn't yours, all that bad energy inside of you. Negative feelings, negative thoughts, fuck all that. You let it go. And it's the same with forgiving yourself. I know when I started to change and I accepted that I wasn't doing good, that I was an alcoholic, that I was abusing of drugs. For literally, I was making excuses. Oh, my life this, my life that, da 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 da. I can't sleep, all the stress, da da da. Those are all stupid ass excuses. You shouldn't be drinking alcohol, doing drugs, smoking weed. That's not helping you. To help you with stress, to help you with your anxiety, your ADHD. You need to get to the root cause and heal that. So I accepted everything. And I then thought, well, how the fuck did I allow myself to do this? I hated myself a little bit more than what I already did. I said, well, if I haven't drank all these years, I could have done this, I could have done that. I wouldn't have hit rock bottom. It wouldn't have led to drugs, this and that. It's not acceptable. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I do not recommend it to anybody. I know I drank for a lot of years. I did drugs. I smoked weed. But I do not recommend it. And I always tell others to not do it. Don't try it if you haven't tried it already. It's not good for you. And I've been through there. It doesn't help you. It makes shit worse. It's damaging you mentally, emotionally, physically, in all fucking ways. It's hurting yourself. All of that has led me to become the person that I am today. It led me towards healing. Instead of investing time and energy into that negative side of all that, I invested my time and energy into the positive side, because there is a positive side to everything. I was changing and I wanted to continue to change. Most importantly, I learned from everything. I learned the lesson, and that's where I gained all my wisdom, and that's where I inspired myself. I always say I'm here to inspire you guys, and I can say that, and I really mean it, because I inspired myself. I still inspire myself in so many ways. Just me getting out of that dark place, like I was such a whole different person, and it's so inspiring to me, and it makes me want to keep improving, to become the best version of myself, to keep loving myself, to take care of me, to just keep loving me. I love loving me, and I love learning new things. I love trying out new things. I fell in love with healing. I fell in love with working on myself. I love to invest my time and energy into that, because I know it's going to help me in the long run. And I know it's just going to help me in general overall. It brings me closer to that person that I truly am.